Coy, you wrote, and I read this last night, you wrote a very detailed report, a great report focusing on Jesse Matthew, or LJ as he is known. You interviewed his acquaintances throughout the night before he was seen with Hannah Graham. Explain what they said to you about Matthew's behavior, because he kind of had a run-in with a man, and then he also appeared or was reportedly harassing some women, right?
That's right. I made an effort to talk to a number of people who were eyewitnesses that night to the events that took place in the couple of hours leading up to Hannah's disappearance. And I spoke with people who were partying with Mr. Matthew that night. I spoke with people who were in Tempo, and they described his behavior as disturbing, erratic, aggressive. He was constantly tracking these women around a bar, putting his arm around them, touching their hair, touching their back, touching their legs. And one of the young women with whom I spoke told me that she finally had to tell him, "Keep your effing hands off me." And that took place just about an hour before he ran into Hannah here on the downtown mall.
And he also had this run-in, according to someone that you spoke with, and CNN has not confirmed this, this is your reporting, but you spoke with someone who described another incident where he actually wrestled a man who pulled his hamstring, who actually heard a pop in his leg and pulled his hamstring. This is really, I think, what led you to write, even though some people describe Matthew as a gentle giant, you said that the sources that you spoke with actually said throughout the night, or this is your description, throughout the night, LJ Matthew demonstrated a troubling lack of respect for the physical boundaries of women and men, or perhaps even a deeper lack of understanding that those boundaries exist. Do you think that this is something, certainly, that the police are looking at this time?
At some point, I think the police will have to focus on that kind of behavior and what we know about the behavior of Mr. Matthew. Right now, though, I believe that investigators and the police are absolutely focused on finding Hannah Graham, and that is our priority. Everyone here in Charlottesville is absolutely committed to doing whatever we can do to find Hannah and get her home to her mom and dad.
This is something, I think people saw video. They saw some of the video of Hannah and what appeared to be Jesse Matthew together, and he may have had his arm around her in the video. This is something that led some people to say, oh, you know what, perhaps they know each other. But I know you actually spoke with a longtime friend, and he told you something very different, didn't he?
He did. He told me something quite the opposite. I asked a friend of his, I said, Dave, did he know Hannah? Did he ever talk about Hannah? Was Hannah a known person in your circle of friends? And he looked at me and he said, absolutely not. I've never heard of her. I've never seen her. He never mentioned her. And I said, but an eyewitness says he walked up and threw his arm around her. And he said, that's what LJ did to women he was hitting on. He said, that's not a sign that he knew her. That's a sign that he didn't know her.
And he was described by this friend, right, as a prowler. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, he used that word prowler, and I pressed him on that, and I said, I want to understand exactly what you mean. You've known him for 9 years. They're not close best friends. That's not the way to describe that. They are acquaintances. They have partied together down here in the bars in downtown Charlottesville. And he said LJ is a prowler. And he said, but what I mean by that is he's the kind of guy that might look for a woman who might be intoxicated, might be compromised, might be a little vulnerable, because, in his words, he would have a better chance. He would have better chances with a woman like that.